Alright, well, now I got you guys here. Now, not gonna do anything except sit here. Hey, here's a question, guys. Don't you think that if you went to a restaurant's website and they had a live stream camera on the food that was coming out, wouldn't that make you hungry and want to eat said food? Thank you, Fakey8 and American Ninja Guy and Foot Sweep. Alright, well, pretty much out of ideas. Ask gootalks? Oh yeah. So I don't know if you guys know, but back in the day, when I was a kid, I've been streaming for a long time. Back then there was shoutcast streaming, and if you wanted to stream, then you only could stream to... You could only stream to as many people as your bandwidth would support on your own connection. So you couldn't really support a lot of listeners, but I used to do a Loveline-esque... Yeah, through Winamp, exactly. I would do like a Loveline-esque style show. I think my name was Dr. Love. That's not true. I don't remember. Yeah. So I would take questions from people in IRC chat rooms, and then I would expound on them. You know, so I was like your very own. Yeah, and that's how we got into the business, exactly. Oh, you guys crack me up. So anyways, that was fun. I learned a lot about other people's problems and myself. Yes, exactly. Damn it, Davey wants help with the ladies. What's your problem, damn it, Davey? Let me guess. You try to be nice to them and then try to do nice things like take them out to dinner or make them mixtapes or tell them to come over and play video games with you. And then you like try to back your way into her pussy. Tell me if I'm on. Tell me if I'm on. That sounds a little too real. Nah, I'm not. It's not an insult, Ian. I'm just. These are common. Phoenix Faction wants to know, Ian. gootalks, how do you force a girl to do anal? You just answered your own question. Anyways, so damn it, Davey. Damn it, Davey says bingo. That was his approach. Ian. He was buying them dinner and ask him over to come play video games and try to sneak his way in. Well, you can't do any of those things, guys. Yes. You have to demonstrate high social value, right? You have to. Well, okay, all right. That would definitely be one way to demonstrate high social value, depending on how expensive the dinner was, obviously. If you're taking them to Chili's or something, I don't think that's gonna work. But if you were to demonstrate your high social value, AKA your high monetary value, by taking them someplace ridiculously fancy, maybe that would work, but I don't think so. But you demonstrate your high value by being the leader in various social situations. Being somebody of somebody of influence, somebody of power. But you can't fake those things, right? What if you just show them a great time all the time? I don't know. I mean, you could, but it's like you have to be careful because, okay, here's the surest way to get out of the friend zone, and that is to never be in the friend zone. Now, how do you never get put in the friend zone from the get-go? What? Anyways, you don't get put in the friend zone from the get-go. How do you avoid being put in the friend zone? Well, you make it pretty clear up front that you don't want to play fucking video games with her unless it's afterwards and you're naked. You don't want to take them out to dinner. You know, you basically act like a man and act like you're attracted to them. So when you first go out, right, like you have to make it clear that this is not, you're not trying to be friends here. You're not looking to be her BFF. A girl will appreciate if a guy is straightforward. So how are you straightforward? Well, you know, you don't have to say when you meet up with them, hey, like I like you or something like that, but you have to be physical with them, right? You have to touch them appropriately. You know, you start small, like for example, with like a nudge or a hug or a high five, but then at some point, like the attraction builds and then, you know, you gotta make the move and grab the hand or go in for the kiss. If you go in for the kiss, then she will never put you in the friend zone. You're either in, she either likes you or she's not into it and she's like, oh, no, I'm not into it. Either way, she'll respect you for making the move. Yes, you gotta play footsies and build that super meter, but most guys, instead of playing footsies, they'll just turtle and play defense for round after round after round. But you don't want to turtle. You want to, yeah, exactly. You want to rush that shit down. But you don't necessarily have to rush it down, but you definitely gotta start by playing footsies. Yes, be a man and let her know that you want her that way. Yes, exactly. Of course you want her that way. Because then, you know, like once you get accustomed to doing that, then when other girls come around, once you understand the friend zone, then you can put them in the friend zone, right? How much fun would that be? You know, some girls, you know, then you make friends with them. And then they just want to do stuff for you because they're trying to get in your pants. Turn the tables, right? So yeah. Edgeward wants to know, how do you approach random girls like on the street or in the mall, Lord Gutex? The same way that you would approach anywhere, by just saying hello. What guys don't understand is girls want to be approached. If they didn't want to be approached, they wouldn't make the effort to look pretty. So if they look pretty, if you can tell that the girl like put on some makeup or put like 5 seconds of thought into her appearance today, she wants to be approached. So, you know, you could do something weak, like ask for the time, or ask if they've, do something like that, but it's hard to transition into an actual conversation. But a girl will appreciate a guy with confidence that just walks up and introduces himself and says hi. And it's usually, it's pretty straightforward, I would say. But you have the confidence, you have to get the confidence to do it. What if she's throwing a couple tiger shots out? How do you get past that zoning? That's what a lot of guys don't understand either, is a girl will, she has like shit tests where she'll challenge you and try to throw you off your game by saying, you know, like for example, here's a perfect example. You're going out, you're out with the girl, it's going well, you know, you have, you know, you made some contact and you go in for the kiss and she pulls away or backs off, right? Now, most guys, or a lot of guys will be like, oh shit, she doesn't like me. Oh wait, I forgot to stop Camtasia. Oops, damn it. Most guys will be thrown off by that and they'll think, oh, like she's not into me, therefore like it's over. But it's not so much that she's not into you, she's pacing you. And it just means that you have to try again later, because if you take it the wrong way and are thrown off by it later, then she'll know that she made the right decision, if that makes sense. She'll know that she shouldn't be getting physical with you because you were so like thrown off or taken aback by her one little like test to you. Right, Ian? So, yeah, like how do you deal with other shit tests, like she makes fun of you or she says something like kind of mean. So she's focus backdash option select teching. I got an option select that hoe. It's kind of more like she's focusing everything. So you gotta wait for her to recover her life and then like go in again. Because unless the only time that you you make a move and then it doesn't work and she's actually not into it is if then she physically leaves. If she's still there, she wants you to try again and you should just laugh it off and try again in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something. So if you're dealing with other sorts of shit tests, the best thing to do is just laugh it off, because you are a high value person and her little shit tests to throw you off your game are just she's just playing the game, you know? Like, because what you have to realize is that girls want it just as bad as guys do. They just can't show it because society would frown upon it. And girls have a higher biological risk than guys do. So that's why they need to have higher defenses, because a guy can just go and, I mean, think about it, like thousands of years ago, right? A guy can go have sex with with any number of girls throughout the day, multiple girls on the same day, at very little biological risk to him. A girl, on the other hand, carries the risk of getting pregnant. That is why she has to be extremely selective with who she sleeps with. So you have to understand that when it comes to her testing you, it's because she's even considering sleeping with you. That is why she's testing you. And all girls will be testing you at the beginning when you meet them. gootalks, a new series. Yes, use your ego meter to get in. Definitely take a hit or two. Like yes. You have a huge life bar, and it doesn't matter if you end the round with only 1 pixel left, because you still won. So it doesn't matter how many hits you take. You just laugh it off. You have to think, you're not playing Ibuki. You are Zangief. You can walk forward and take a couple hits, no problem. But if you're Ibuki, then you have to play safe. So you don't want to be Ibuki, you want to be Zangief. Yes, basically play it like Geef, yes. Yes, keep going, no scare, exactly. So basically she's Phoenix faction, so basically she's got low life. So she's trying to block an FADC backdash, and you gotta EX cycle that hoe. She's trying to block an attack. You just have to keep walking forward. Yes, she's parrying. Yes, correct. So there you go. What else can we talk about? Using Street Fighter analogy is really good. How long do you wait before calling her? That's a great question. I think back in the day, it was important. There was like custom, you had to wait like a certain amount of time. Now, I don't think you should wait at all. I mean, I don't know that I would call that night, but I would definitely, and I would actually calling, that's up in the air too. Why would you even call? Because it also depends on your, demographic. For example, girls that are, I would say, age 25 or younger, you don't even call them. Why would you call them? They're not going to pick up. They would think that you were weird for calling them. Yeah. So you don't call them. You text them. I would say that if you meet them that night, let's say you met them going out, you could text them that night and say like, hey, it was nice meeting you, get home safe. You could. I don't think that that's weird. Or you definitely would want to text them the next day, because there's definitely no reason to wait, because you know, when things were different and there wasn't so much technology and everybody didn't have these cell phones and smartphones, it wasn't so critical. But now it's way different. So I would say, yeah, don't wait. Because the longer time that goes on, like for example, let's say you met her on Friday night and we're like, oh, I'll just hit her up on Sunday. Well, newsflash, buddy, she went out on Saturday and a dozen other guys approached her and got her number, and those dudes hit her up Sunday. So are gonna hit her up the next day. So when you hit her up on Sunday, you're like, hey, this is Matt from Friday at, you know, the Avalon or whatever. She's like, who? I thought, and then and that could be it too, because if you text her and she's like, who, then, you know, you're like, you're trying to explain yourself, and that's, you lost. Can being a nice guy get me in the friend zone? Yes, absolutely. You can be in the friend zone if you're too nice. If you make the move, you have to make the move though. If you make the move, you'll never be in the friend zone. Tip number 1 to get girls, be good looking. Disagree. Girls don't give a rat's ass how you look if you are a high value male that is a leader of his peers, is socially socially smart, you know, socially savvy, and has ambition or is already making good money. It doesn't matter what you look like. Phoenix Faction is a genius, yes. So she's got 5,000 player points and she's got 100 people on her friends list hitting her up for some endless, get in the room as quick as you can, right? Yes, absolutely. She's got a lot of player points. Everybody's messaging her, hey, wanna play, wanna play, wanna play, wanna play? But if you were the first one to play her that night, and then you message her after, then you got a better chance of getting on the friends list. Yes, confidence. What if she likes team battle? Then go get yourself a teammate, man. Get that wobbly H going. Yeah, and also, yeah, if you make them laugh, you win the most points. Todd is the best. Yes, I would agree. Work on being funny, but not too funny. But if you're funny and you can make them laugh, then that's good. But there's definitely a balance. Like, you can be too funny. If you're too funny, not too funny, but like, if you're like the clown, like the funny guy of the group, that can be difficult also, because then they just see you as like somebody to laugh at instead of laugh with. But if you can be consistently witty, that counts for a lot. I'm short. Doesn't that mean I can't be the alpha dog? No, I see. Okay, if you're short or have something else like that going against you, you have to compensate with it in other areas. Or you gotta hang out with guys that are shorter than you, which I would probably not recommend. So how does a short guy become the alpha dog? Great question. You have to be the boss, you know? Like, I'm sure if you hang out with taller guys, you know, those dudes, think of those guys as your muscle. Those are your dudes, but you have to bring value in other ways. For example, being the guy that has the connects at the club or the restaurant or the party or whatever. Yes, exactly. Phoenix Faction, you gotta be the Punko dog. Gamble King, 50-50s all day, no scare, rush that shit down with confidence. Sorry, shore you, there you go. Yes, exactly. It's definitely not that hard. D-dong man. People just overthink it. when it comes to girls. I agree. Just don't get put in the friend zone. Simple as that. What if she is married? Then that may prove sticky. That may prove sticky. How do you know if a girl is out of your league? Well, Mark Ramham, is that your name? How do you know if a girl's out of your league? Well, if you think that she's out of your league, then she is out of your league because she will smell fear on you when you approach. And if you approach with fear, then she'll feel it, she'll smell it on you, and it won't go well. So the best way to know if she's out of your league is to just not think that way. You have to think, oh, well, what can I do to raise myself up? And if I raise myself up, then she won't be out of my league anymore. So for some people, that might be something like working out or getting in shape. Because usually everybody usually sucks in one area. Like, oh, if you have a great job, like you probably don't work out very much. You know, you're making a lot of money, but you're kind of, you know, you're carrying around a little extra weight around the gut. Or maybe, you know, you work out all the time, but you're not making that much money. So you feel kind of like self-conscious about that because you don't have like a good job or a nice car or anything. So the best thing to do is to figure out where your weaknesses are and then work towards improving yourself so that you have more confidence. Because think about it, right? If you were just the man and you were like in really good shape and you were balling out of control and if you were in good shape and were balling out of control, you would basically automatically be the leader in your group by default, just because. And if you had that going for you, then there would basically be no girl that was out of your league. Chef has teeth. If we were in good shape and balling, we wouldn't be listening to advice. Hey, that's okay. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Okay, so I've been, with the exception of this week, I've been working out consistently 5-6 days a week for 4 months? Maybe like 4 months, I would say. And it helps me stay, it almost doesn't matter what happens the rest of the day, because if the workout went properly, then I know the day was basically a success. And that confidence carries over to all interactions, because there's basically nothing that I had to do today that was harder than like doing that 45 minutes of cardio or like pushing those weights one more time, you know? So it takes time, but there are no shortcuts, right? Yeah, I would agree with you, Blacklight 911. Being in good shape is way easier than balling out of control. See, being in good shape is something that you can start on and have success with today. There we go. Turn off the stupid Street Fighter music. The balling out of control part is different. And I'm definitely not an expert on that, which is part of why I started with the working out, because at least that part was easier to do. But but balling out of control is interesting because at least when it comes to girls, you don't have to be balling out of control. If you have the ambition to be balling out of control, that can count for almost as good, because women are investors. And if you prove to them that you are worth investing in because you are investing in that long-term state of balling out of control, then a lot of girls will respect and appreciate that. What about coworkers? Marvin Stein, what about coworkers? Will it be too awkward? I don't have any coworkers, at least no female coworkers, so I couldn't tell you. But it sounds like trouble. You know, what could work, depending on where you work at, is to go after somebody that was in a different department. But I definitely think that using your coworkers for introductions to their friends would be fine and totally appropriate. It's pretty funny. I can get more viewers. I can get more viewers doing this than streaming Persona. Do I have career advice? Yes. Read The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. It'll help you whether you're starting your own business or whether you're trying to improve your current job situation. Yes, of course I read The 4-Hour Body. I read part of it, but not the whole thing. It's interesting, at least the diet part makes a lot of sense. If you guys haven't read The 4-Hour Body, it's basically about optimizing your nutrition and your exercise routine so that you only have to spend 4 hours a month, basically 2 half-hour sessions a week in the gym. Yeah. Anyways, if you guys just joined us, I was just making the second part of our how to stream tutorial, and then had to go live, and then we finished shooting, and then somehow we just started talking about girls. But yeah, I guess the real secret to balling out of control is to first want to ball out of control. I mean, if you're not setting written goals on how you're trying to get there, it's not going to happen. I have a notebook And basically, I try to write my goals every single day. And when you do that, your goals will change every day because you kind of realize, oh, maybe I don't actually want that anymore. But you make it a habit, and I swear to God, you find throughout the day that various things happen to lead you closer and closer to those goals. Yes, hey, we all need to ball out of control together. That's what I'm talking about. Because, yes, -0. What do you do when you accomplish something and find out you never wanted it in the first place? I know exactly how that feels because that happened to me. When I won, I won Street Fighter 4 at Sensation in 2009, and this was back before like streaming, and those videos may be out there somewhere. But I realized after getting the money and realizing how empty I felt that this was not going to be the way for me. So after achieving a goal, because God, I wish I still had it, but I had a piece of paper that had a bunch of Street Fighter goals listed front and back, and it included players to beat and tournaments to win, not tournaments to win, but to win a tournament, and all these different things, listeners to the podcast and all these things. After I did it, it felt so empty that it just seemed like, yeah, it just didn't seem worth it. That was kind of where I started to take a different direction with all this stuff. So, after, I guess, once you've reached a goal and realized that you didn't want it anymore, it's usually like a small adjustment in a different direction. Beansy2183, would you compare managing life to managing meter? Well, Street Fighter is just a game of resource management. You know, the resources that you have available are your life, your meter, the ultra meter, and the time on the clock. So definitely, you know, there's a lot of life analogies there. You know, in life, your meter is your money. The timer is the amount of days that you have until you die. And yeah, your life bar is the amount of energy that you have throughout the day to get stuff done. That's for sure. S. Keith 7. It's a quest. Sometimes you embark on a quest to do something you thought was important. Then later it turns out it was never important, or it never mattered in your life. Somewhere down the line you find something better or more important to you, making the quest worth it, but the end destination different. Exactly. Lots of times it's not about the journey. I mean, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's not where you go, it's like how you got there, you know? Like, we all think, oh, this is what we're gonna do in life, and this is our job, and this is our career, and we're gonna do this forever. But lots of times you find that these things are stepping stones for other things. For example, when I was younger, I used to record and produce metal bands. Terrible, shitty, god-awful metal bands that you would never hear of or want to hear of. But it was fun, and I learned a lot in terms of audio production. And then later, not that much later, in fact, but I had an opportunity when I was playing at Family Fun a lot, because Shogo and Arlith were producing the ranking battle videos, right? And the audio was always awful. And so I said, hey, let me bring some of my gear. I'll help you guys out with the audio, because I knew how to do it. So that came in handy. And then later on, when we had the idea to do the Ask Dr. Sub-Zero show, then it was so easy to produce a podcast with one guy talking versus an entire band playing. So my experience recording bands directly translated into producing an audio podcast. And then through doing that, actually, the program that I was using, which was Sony Vegas, wasn't made for audio, even though it was really good for audio. It was actually made for video. So then there came an opportunity for me to produce the Third Strike ranking battle videos myself. So I did that. So it was from my experience producing bands that I was able to produce a podcast, and then from my experience working with audio that it was very easy for me to transition into video. Once I had already learned how to edit video, then it became super easy to do my own videos when I started, gootalks.com and started traveling to tournaments and interviewing fools and whatever. So I would say that everything that we do should lead us directly into the next phase. For example, another example, to take it even further, with all the Street Fighter stuff, everything that we've learned, or that I've learned about streaming is arguably way more valuable in any other industry than this particular one. Why is that? Well, here, newsflash, nobody gives a shit about competitive gaming aside from people who are already into it. I mean, sure, that number grows every single day, but there's way more people that are into music or comedy or anything like that than there is people into competitive gaming. So what I've learned in producing content and streaming is directly applicable to other things. So, for example, earlier, I was eating at a restaurant, and this burger, and I'll tell you guys who it was later after this deal is done, but I was so, this burger was just so amazing. Like, I'm kind of a food tourist, right? I've been to a lot of places. This burger was so good. I had to take out my phone and write an email to the company saying how good this burger was. But it also inspired me to think, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I could just set up a camera and live stream the area of the restaurant where the food goes right before the servers pick it up, so that when you went to the website, you saw the food there. Every dish would just be passed on over and over, and you would just see that on the website. How cool would that be? So I sent them an email, and I was like, hey, first off, this burger is the greatest fucking burger I've ever had in my life, so thank you for that. What do you think if, wouldn't it be cool if there was a live stream of the food on the website? Swear to God, 30 minutes later, they called me and they said, I didn't pick up actually, because I don't pick up any numbers that aren't on my phone. They called me, so I had to call the guy back. The guy left me a voicemail saying, hey, this is so-and-so from so-and-so, call me back. I call him, and he's, we talked about the food for a little bit, and he's like, so tell me a little bit about your idea and tell me about what you guys do. I'm like, well, so, we're in the streaming business. We stream video game tournaments and live music. And this burger was just so good that I was like, wow, I had this idea for you guys to stream it like this. What do you think? And the guy was like, that sounds really cool. So I'm writing a proposal for them to get it done. So my point is that we don't need to think that all of this is permanent. We should be thinking about the journey, not the destination, because the destination will change every single time. And the things that we learn along the way, whether they're technical things or like emotional things along the way, those are the things that we carry with us that help us learn and grow into the new thing. Yes. Mr. Sizzo, Gutex, how did you get so good at the business side of things? I'm good at technical shit, but the business side fucks me over because I'm too casual and I hate writing proposals. I know exactly what you mean. There are several solutions. The first solution is to partner with somebody who can be the business guy. For example, I meet a lot of people who are like artist types, creatives, and those people generally have a difficult time pitching themselves to other potential for freelance gigs or jobs or whatever. You need somebody who can do the talking for you. Like if you're the technical side, build the technical stuff and be really good at that, but you have to find somebody to go out and do the selling for you. Because if you focus on the proposal writing stuff, you'll always kind of really put it off and you'll never really get good at it because you don't want to be good at it because you don't enjoy doing it. But if you were to enjoy, if you were to enjoy writing the proposals, then obviously you should do it. But if you did, then you wouldn't even be doing it. So I would suggest finding somebody who can do that part for you because there's plenty of people out there that are better talkers and they're not so good with the creative or the technical stuff. So how did I get so good at it? I don't know that I'm that good at it. I just, from the time that I was a kid, it's like one of the main things that I just think about all the time. And I guess it also helps to think of from the perspective of how can I make this a win-win for everybody involved. Any particular project shouldn't be, every project shouldn't be you're not trying to get something or get one over on somebody, right? You're trying to create win-win scenarios for everybody. And if you think of it in that regard, then you'll get more projects and generate more value and get more business or referrals in the long run. For example, with this food idea, right? Streaming that part of the restaurant, right? The guy asked me how much would something like this cost, and like, who the fuck am I, right? Like, it doesn't matter what. In my mind, like, if I would have told him a number, they would have had to think long and hard about it. But I wanted to do it just for the sake of doing it because I think it would be a fun case study. And I also think that it would be good to just do it just because I was such a fan of the food. So I told him that if we were to do this for somebody else, not under these circumstances where I was just a really big fan of the food, it would probably be somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000, including the hardware. What I told him was that I just wanted to do it to get it done, and we could do it on a trade or barter. Because if they would just pay for the hardware, I'll just do it, just because I think it's so awesome and it would be fun to try. So if they pay for the hardware and basically pay me in food, because all I want really is to just be able to go in there whenever I want and just and just kind of be able to go in there and eat, or like take my friends to go eat. Like, what could be better than being VIP at like a nice restaurant like that? Nothing. To me, nothing. So, and what would I spend the money on anyways, right? Just more food, more burgers. So let's just cut to the chase. And he liked that, right? So it's not always about the money, even though the money is important, but this is where having power and influence becomes more important than having money. Because there's lots of situations where I'll get to do things that people with way more money than me don't get to do. And I would rather have the experience than like the cash money in the pocket, usually. So, yeah, I mean, also, if you're not so much worried about the money and you do things on trades, like you can get a lot more out of things. Maybe they would have been willing to pay, maybe I would have said, hey, $3,000. Give me $3,000 and I'll set all this shit up for you. Maybe they would have said, $3,000 is a lot of money for somebody we don't know on some sort of unproven project. Maybe we'll give you $2,000, maybe, and maybe we could do it. Or just to tell them up front that I would just do it on a trade, maybe now I can get $4,000 of store credit or whatever, or I can get, something like that. I can get more out of it just because I didn't want the money. Plus, what is the value of being able to use this restaurant as a case study? Because if this works for them, it'll work for any number of other restaurants. And I'm sure being in the restaurant business, they know plenty of other restaurants that could also benefit. And those people, I could charge them the real money because I don't necessarily like the food. And I can charge more because I had a really good referral. So fuck it, who cares? Pay me in burgers. Yes, and I'm homeless, so I have to eat. Yes, but what about the bills? Well, if you have your hustle set up properly, and you've read the 4-Hour Work Week, then you should have some sort of business setup that brings you in passive income every month, regardless of what happens. For example, things like selling digital products is passive income. Once it's set up, then it just lives forever. Stuff that you get royalties on, music, videos, YouTube videos, merchandise gets you passive income if you have somebody else ship it. So if you focus on building up passive income, then you should have the basics of your bills taken care of. Talk about cross-counter live. Quit dodging that shit. Should I talk about cross-counter live? What do you think? What? Should I talk about cross-counter live? A little bit. Let's put it like this. Cross-counter live was not something. What do you want to know? There's nothing to. What do you want to know? So Cross Counter Live was arguably, well, first off, it was a lot of fun for a time. And then it became not a lot of fun because there were certain people, not on our side, not on the Cross Counter side, on the Stream.tv side, that it just became difficult. I don't know. Okay, there was never any sort of like financial motivation to do the show because, surprise, doing the show was not a huge moneymaker. Why would it be? It was not on our channel. like doing stuff like Excellent Adventures or running sets or the premium stuff, those all are basically moneymakers. And if they're not moneymakers, they're at least fun to do. Cross Counter Live is not a moneymaker and required basically a full day of work. 20% of the work week, 0% of the revenue. Why continue? So between seasons 1 and seasons 2, I didn't want to continue. The rest of the team wanted to keep going, so we kept it going. But things changed, and on their side, things changed. And it was not fair to some of the people working. And I'm just going to say that, like, Brian, who you guys remember from running the stream, is a great guy. And I always loved working with Brian. So it definitely had nothing to do with Brian, because if it were up to Brian, we would just be in the studio all day, every day. But it wasn't. So it seemed like it was not a good situation for Brian. It was not a good situation for us. So we just stopped doing it. Plus, who wants to see us talk about fighting games anyways? I mean, the thing is, I don't know. I mean, well, okay. See, this is the thing. If it's not something that I'm like super interested in, then it's like not gonna last very long. And the other thing is too, like, I don't know, it started to get like it actually started to get kind of stale. So, I don't know. I mean, like, for example, this weekend, I didn't watch anything that was going on because I don't know, I wasn't like super interested in it, because like once I've done something like a million times, I just get bored of it. Yeah, I mean, maybe we can do some non-fighting game stuff, but then everybody would just hate on that. Well, I'm glad you guys liked Excellent Adventures, because we actually have a whole batch of them. So what is Cross Counter now? Just a sponsor? What? I think you guys have like the wrong idea about everything. But Cross Counter is Fighting Game Entertainment Network. So that's what we're doing. We got to think about other ways to keep it going. But yeah, as for club events, Footsweet, maybe you can use that leverage with Insomniac and stream their events. Maybe. The thing is, it's like, in order to keep growing as a person and as a business person, like, you have to continue to do new things and try new projects. So in my mind, the gaming stuff is everything that there is to be done has been done. At least everything that I can think of. There is not a single idea that I've had that we haven't tried. I don't think, at least not not like a substantial one. But everything that we've learned in building Cross Counter, in producing shows, and doing live streams is all it could all work just as well, if not better, in a different area, such as live music. -0 says, in an interview I saw earlier, you mentioned that finding game developers should work with content makers, if I remember correctly. Can you share some of your ideas or elaborate more on that? Okay, yeah. So, in my mind, once the games are released, they don't belong to the developer, they belong to everybody that plays and enjoys them. So, content marketing is still kind of a foreign concept to a lot of these companies, but you're starting to see them do it more and more. If companies work with the existing fan base that are already producing content, then the content producers are getting paid and the game developers are selling more units of the game because there's people who are typing the name of the game into YouTube, and then these videos show up and get people excited about the game. Creating trailers or ads for the games, like leading up to the game's release, can really only do so much compared to having people who are actually passionate about the game produce their own content for it, because that's what they were going to do anyway. So why not just allow and why not just facilitate that content creation, because it's just good marketing. It's just good marketing. When am I playing games? When there is a game that seems like would be fun to make. I do enjoy Persona. I don't have a lot of time to play. I actually think that Persona is going to do pretty well. I think that MLG or IPL will pick it up and it'll keep on going. Thought about doing more things like the Ryu guide with Air. Yes, absolutely. There are some roadblocks to doing more stuff like that, which I can't really talk about too much, but believe me, that is where, trust me, when you see us come out with one of those like every month, you'll know that the obstacles are cleared, and that's where the money is. Growdy says, Cross Counter would have been fantastic if you had a better scheme for monetizing it. Like you said yourself, the Stream.tv was getting the money. Perhaps instead of coming up with new ideas, you should try to approach something that was largely successful from a different angle. If you really want money, you should look into charitable events for mainstream exposure. I didn't say that we were getting money, we were splitting. There just wasn't that much money to split. Charitable events for mainstream exposure. I like that. I just don't know if I have like ideas and energy to do that much more stuff. PJ's winning. I want to do something with Cross Counter. I want to do something with you, baby. As long as that's the PJ's winning, I think it is. Oh yeah, totally, totally. Yes, absolutely. Let me know what you want to do. What would you guys do with, yeah, with Peaceful J? What should Cross Counter and Peaceful J do? A porno. More porno. Ah, what is up with the Dr. Sub-Zero show? I gotta find out. I want to get them in and we'll just stream everything from here and we'll produce it. We just gotta get on that. Tell John I said we gotta hurry up and do it. I don't know if he's been doing his show since. Oh yeah, I mean, that's why I pulled their show too from the stream. The Cross Country website is kind of being worked on. 24-hour charity stream with me and Mike playing games. I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, so everybody, Filipino Champ re-signed with Complexity. The rest of our contracts all expired in June. All right. Yeah, email me, Peaceful J, please. gootalks at crosscounter.tv. What are my hobbies? It seems I like to party. I like to go out. I like to go out and party. That's fun. Isn't that fun? What happened to Combo Fiend? Was it Cross Counter's fault? No, absolutely not. Combo Fiend is the homie. There's really nothing to say about Combo Fiend. Except he's going to Brazil tomorrow, so wish him luck. Any other recommended reads besides 4 Hour Workweek? Off the top of my head, you definitely need to read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. What else? You know, I also listened to Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh, the CEO of Zappos. That was really good. Raymond Aaron, Double Your Income Doing What You Love. That's a good one. Movie recommendations. I was watching part of Jiro Dreams of Sushi last night. That was pretty good. I saw like half of it. Capcom went most wrong with Cross Tekken, probably with a combination with the DLC. The DLC, I think, was the nail in the coffin, unfortunately. If those characters would have just been unlocked when all of it fell apart, I think that would have done a lot. I think the gems also, not listening to people, not letting people give an easy way to either select them or turn them off. Yeah. My dream job is to not have a job because you don't get wealthy by having a job. You get wealthy by investing in businesses or owning businesses. Should wealth be a goal? Absolutely, wealth should be a goal, I think. Um, absolutely. Why wouldn't wealth be a goal? What a great goal. Wealth or happiness? Why not both? But you know, really, in some respects, you don't necessarily need to be wealthy. It's just because I've been rereading 4 Hour Work Week again. It's not really so much about, you don't necessarily want to have the money, you want to have the lifestyle of being wealthy, which means travel to exotic places and have crazy wild experiences. Lots of times if you're going to the most exotic of countries, the American dollar actually goes quite far, even though it is considerably weaker than it used to be. So you don't necessarily need to be wealthy, you just kind of need to you need to calculate how much it will cost to actually have this sort of dream lifestyle and then work backwards. That's what that's what the 4 Hour Work Week is about. And it's about creating a business that will basically run on autopilot that you can outsource all of the stuff to, all of the customer service, shipping, all that stuff. Did I go to Hobotex wants to know, did I go to college? If so, how was it? What was your major? Yeah, absolutely. I went to college. How do you think I got so good at Third Strike? I went to college for computer information systems. It was largely a waste of time, perhaps, but had I not gone to college, I wouldn't have spent so much time at the arcade, and I wouldn't have gotten good at Third Strike. Not that I was good back then, but I wouldn't have gotten good enough to want to get better. And had I not gone to Cal Poly, I wouldn't have gotten to experience Evo for the first time. So in that sense, going to college was a great idea, but I never actually used any of what I learned. That's not true. The best classes that I took in college were the ones that had nothing to do with my major. For example, audio engineering. I took lots of audio engineering classes as well as music business classes. I also took digital photography, which ended up, it wasn't really digital photography, it was more like a Photoshop class. That was very helpful as well because that was how I was able to do a lot of the early graphics stuff myself. So that was helpful. And the other class that I took that was really helpful was networks and social capital, which was all about networking with people. That was where I learned a lot about giving to relationships, and kind of like sowing the seeds, planting the seeds that you would sow later. So in that sense, going to college was definitely worth it for those classes. If you wanted to read about some of the good networking books, Harvey McKay, let's see if I can find his books. Swim with the Sharks. No, wait, no. Here we go. Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty. This was a good one. And there was also, what was his name? His name was Ivan Meisner. That was my networks and social capital class professor. Gosh. And he's the founder of BNI, which is this network, business networking group organization. Cal Poly Pomona. I went to Cal Poly Pomona. But yeah, books on business networking are pretty good. Programming languages, HTML and Java. I tried to learn a little PHP, but HTML and Java. I actually failed Java so hard, I had to take it again. And then I did much better the second time. Mike is going to Beijing tomorrow. Where do I think I'll be relative to the FGC in a year from now? Hopefully, everything will be on autopilot and we'll just be producing all sorts of great content that you guys would like to see. And we got that shit on lock, hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah, he's going to Beijing for the 2008 Olympics. The streaming tutorial part 2, which is what this started as, is going up Friday morning. Would I take Seth Killian's old job? It would take a lot more than just me to fill Seth Killian's shoes. Talk to MLG and IPL and tell them to add fighting games. FGC needs money. Maybe I'll do that, or maybe it's already in the works. Not my job to... Ugh. Gosh, this is like therapy. You guys just... you guys are like... Hold on, I have to find therapy cat. Hold on. Gosh. Oh no, where was it? Oh, God damn it. I saw this photo on Reddit. I saw this, it was Reddit. It was a picture of a cat with his legs crossed. It was an advice animal meme and it said, somebody pooped on your carpet. How does that make you feel? Somebody paste the link to that. Find that. Oh. How many languages do I speak? English, too. English and the language of love. Gootalks, do you like Asian or white girls? Both. I don't discriminate. Ah, why did you get an empty feeling after winning that tournament? I don't know. I I wish I knew. But yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Stupid fucking cat. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, Footsies guy. No, I haven't thought about it. But that's a good idea, thank you. It was, okay, Blackstorm, was it a, well, what now feeling, or this isn't that much money for my time invested? It was more of the latter, because it seemed like, well, back then, okay, there were far fewer players, so there was less money, and only number one can make enough money to survive, I think, just doing it full time. It seemed to me that I was going to have to continue to spend that much time, if not more time, and there wasn't that much money, and it just didn't seem reliable. It seemed like more of a sure thing to try to do more on the business end. Plus, there's plenty of players out there, you know? I mean, there's so many great players, especially now, that who am I to think that I would be... Like, there's so many other players that could play well, but there are not that many players that could do what I do, that can do well on the business side. I should find a way to monetize raffles. I'll try. Is the FGC stuck in the context of the growing esports business? You know what's funny about the FGC and esports is that if this is, okay, this is a prediction. I think that if IPL and MLG both had Capcom games, I think they would still have lower numbers than the existing FGC channels and events. For example, let's say at the next major IPL event, there's StarCraft and League of Legends and Street Fighter. I still think our numbers would be higher. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the sponsors of those events may not be getting as much bang for their buck as they could be if they were putting those ad dollars to existing grassroots organizations, such as Team Spooky, I Play Winner, Level Up, Final Round, Summer Jam, Seasons Beatings, Canada Cup, etc., etc. That means that for this particular niche, they can't surpass us, I don't think. The only way that they could surpass us is if they absorbed us and bought us out, I think. But because otherwise, like, the numbers just aren't going to be as big. Perfect example, NorCal Regionals this year, back in March, there was also MLG Columbus going on at the same time. KOF on the NCR stream had 8 to 10,000 viewers, if I'm not mistaken, and MLG only had 5,000 concurrents on KOF, and there was nobody in the crowd. So either, I would say that these companies, these leagues have come in too late. And it's not going to be long before the sponsors look at what they're spending the money on, and they're just like, why are we spending the money to reach this demographic when we could be spending that money with guys who are doing the same thing, just with larger numbers? No, the only way up is for us to keep growing as we've been growing, or for them to basically pay to buy in. If all our best players were at MLG, we'd be watching MLG. Maybe, if something was going on at the same time. However, I think that having the existing community events, let's say, for example, here's the perfect example, EVO. What if MLG or IPL had a big fighting game event on the same day as EVO? Now, how much money would they have to put up in prizes in order to draw all those players away from EVO, as well as what is the cost of trying to rectify that PR nightmare? Oh, you guys are trying to do like a large fighting game event on the weekend of the largest fighting game event in history? Why the fuck are we doing that? That doesn't sound like a good idea. Why don't we just not do it on that weekend? I think that's what it's going to come down to. Of course, you're going to have a lot of players that would be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just go wherever the money is. But is that financially viable for the organization that is putting it on? I say it's not, because it's not that big yet. And if it were that big, why don't we just work? Why wouldn't they just want to work with EVO and, let's say, buy their ad space or whatever to resell or whatever? Why wouldn't you just do it like that? So that's kind of where I see it. I think that there was a time where IPL or MLG could have come in and maybe it could have worked. But I think that the community events are not to be taken lightly by the other leagues. The amount of major tournaments, are they sustainable? I mean, if people keep going, I can tell you for sure the TOs wouldn't be putting on tournaments if they weren't making money, for the most part. The community needs to ensure its survival long term. What does it need? It needs, well, there needs to be more people that can make a full-time living. So that means that, because basically, okay, you have like 3 different levels of sponsorship, right? You have your C tier, or your B tier, I guess. Your B tier sponsorship is like strictly product based. For example, we're gonna give you products, you put our names in front of you put our name in front of your name. A tier sponsorship would be we're going to pay for your travel and hotel to X number of events this year. Maybe it's all of the Road to Evo season events. Then you have your S tier sponsorship, which is all product, travel, plus salary. So the more people that are at S tier sponsorship level, then there'll be more people that can do this on a full-time living. But even more guys just having travel paid for would do a lot towards ensuring the long-term success of the community. So how does that happen? Well, in my mind, it happens when the sponsoring teams sell products. For example, Team Coca-Cola sells Coke. When Team Coca-Cola is up there winning Evo, they got that Coke logo on the back. Well, hey, we sold so many more cans of Coke, let's keep this team going, right? It gets difficult, in my opinion, when the teams are not selling a particular product. There's reliant solely on the winnings of taking cuts of the winnings of the players and sponsorship dollars, which is basically like spare marketing money that these companies had available. So I don't think it's as sustainable. Canosaurus, never got your Hori stick? Well, hey, I got a Hori stick right here, so send me an email, gootalks@crosscounter.tv, and I'll send it out to you. That dude doesn't work with us anymore, so there you go. BNZ2183, is it a good thing or a bad thing that top-level sponsored players are in tournaments competing with mid-level or lower-level players? That sort of thing doesn't happen in other sports. I actually agree that having like different leagues, if you will, having guys kind of like a weight class in boxing. You don't have fucking Mike Tyson trying to beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao. It just doesn't happen that way. So if there was some way to categorize, I think that'd be really cool. There just don't seem to be enough players to do that in most places, but I think the best way to do that is to just do a high roller tournament regularly, or just kind of ban certain players, like, oh, if you have if you have any points in this ranking battle season, like, you can't play in this tournament. So this is like amateurs only, and it's like a low stakes, like $5 tournament or something. Oh wow! How did I get to 500 people watching at once? It must have been when I was talking about how the leagues is very difficult to compete with the existing tournaments. Oh, it's pretty funny. Oh, Big Two is over? Oh, isn't Wednesday Night Fights going on? Shouldn't we all be watching Wednesday Night Fights? What happened? Justicio, are good writing skills a solid stepping stone for getting your name out there? Absolutely. I was writing my own strategy articles and ebooks on gootalks.com, and the written word is still very popular, even though people much prefer to watch videos. But I think having something interesting to say is good. especially if you're a good writer. Good writers are very hard to come by. Let me know if you want to write for me. How would a league work with a Capcom games if top players are always pot splitting? Newsflash, the pot will always be split when it's in the player's best interest to split the pot. Surprise. And the reason for that is usually because everybody knows each other. But if the guys don't like each other, or if the disparity is too big, then the pot, if the guys don't like each other, the pot won't be split. But if they're homies, the pot is probably going to be split. But hey, if you don't like it, then you should just be better so that you can be number one and you won't split the pot. How about that? How do you stop pot splitting? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the pot is being split. Yeah. Information about Excellent Adventures. We shot a bunch on Monday. That was Monday. Yeah, Monday. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. All the people, all the leagues or whatever, the higher ups have a problem with pot splitting. But if you read, what was that book? Freakonomics. Freakonomics has a great part in it about how sumo wrestlers will throw matches to other sumo wrestlers when it's not super critical for them to win. Same thing applies in Street Fighter. And the same thing applies to pot splitting. You'll find that lots of times players, consciously or unconsciously, will drop matches to each other. Newsflash, that's just the way things work. Unethical? Is it unethical? I don't know. It's like, this is how it is with this particular group of elite players or sumo wrestlers or whatever. That is the culture that's been developed. As an outsider, you have no real right to judge. Even the leagues or commissioners or whatever have no rights to judge because they're not in that particular group. How big of a wrench do foreign players throw into that pot splitting culture? I think it's a pretty big wrench if you don't know them. But if you have a good relationship with them, it's all the same thing. Yeah, and I agree. It does become a big deal when you have outsiders betting on matches. And I mean big time betting, not $50 Sherigenics bets. Yes, that's a huge deal. What can we do to get more legalized gambling going? If somebody can set up some sort of gambling thing in Europe or something, that'd be pretty good. Uncle Bibby, if there was a character in Street Fighter V named Balrose, who was a combination of Balrog and Rose, would you make that character? Yes, absolutely. Am I a DJ? No, I wish. I bought an S4 a couple months ago, and like I haven't spent that much time with it. but when I do, it's fun. DJ Goo Goo. That's pretty good. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, I'm gonna ban this guy. Oh, you're banned. DJ Gooey Goo on the ones and twos. I do like playing Mitsuru because she is like Yuri and Rose and Balrog all roll into one. That's crazy, right? That's why Persona is dope. Hello. I just suck at it. What happened to all the old podcasts from gootalks.com? They're actually on my old computer over there. I don't really know what to do with it. Although I was clearing space yesterday and I found all of this old. Gosh, what did I find? I found Arturo versus Daigo, first to 10 from 2009, back in the dark ages. And I found LA Riots 1. I might have even found LA Riots 2. Maybe I can put those on YouTube or something. Do I think Infiltration is the best in the world right now? Absolutely. Gootex, me and my friends are trying to revive the Central Valley scene in California. Any tips on creating something that once existed, and what type of venue should we look for, being arcades aren't actually willing to support these venues? Also, there's an official. Oh, I don't give a shit about tier list. Well, you know what seems to work well in areas where there's not so much of an arcade scene is to have gatherings at venues such as restaurants or bars. Up in Canada, they do Wednesdays at Tubby Dogs, which is a really cool hot dog place where they sell beer. So what you do is you go to the restaurant, preferably a not so busy restaurant, or go to a restaurant where you know it's going to be like the least busy day and say, hey, I will bring people here to your restaurant. You give me 10 to 20% of what you guys make on food or drinks or something. And they'll say, okay, let's do it. And you get 10 people to show up, 20 people to show up, and you build it from there. Of course, then, you got to start making your Facebook events and your Facebook fan pages and getting people on the email list and doing the work like that. But there is money to be made because you are bringing value to both the restaurant or bar as well as your local community. And then eventually you can start charging people to get in because it's gotten so packed. If Mike Z offered to create a fighting game based on your designs and specifications, would you do it? Yes, absolutely, on the condition that it was free to play, because free to play fighting games, especially ones that you could play on a keyboard, is the way of the future. No problem, good luck. Did I ever squash my beef with Fanatiq? I never had a beef with Fanatiq, so consider it squashed. Oh, DFO is a free-to-play fighting game? Really? Is it really, though? Tell me something funny, I'll laugh hard. Hold on one second. All right, we're back. We're back. Why don't you create premium? Oh, actually, if you guys could do me a favor and look up sushi restaurants in downtown LA. Never mind. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, why don't you create premium entertainment shows with a monthly fee? I would love to. Subscriptions are the way to go. I don't know. I'm kind of empty on ideas. When is the next Cross Counter music event? September 20th at Exchange LA. It looks like, I don't want to, it hasn't been announced, but the headliner is actually somebody that's very large in the EDM industry. So I'm very excited. Just do some here and get a sub for it. I would sub this channel right away. Part of the reason I'm not too big of a fan of doing a subscription model on Twitch is because they take 50% of the revenue. So if I were to do subscriptions, I would do it on our own site. Sorry, I'm ugly. I'm super self-conscious now. Is there going to be another bar fights happening anytime soon? If you guys can find me a place in downtown LA, that would be a cool place to hang out and drink. We will do bar fights there, but it won't be all like, it'll just be bar fights like come hang out and drink and play. What is the benefit of partnering with Broken Tier instead of producing your own apparel? RIP PogChamp. The advantage is that Broken Tier does it. That is the advantage. I'm not in the t-shirt making business. And this is actually a conversation that I had with a friend who's starting his own t-shirt line. I'm like, are you sure you want to be in the t-shirt business? Mike and I actually spent a long time discussing it because we were like, well, we could make our own shirts and probably make more, or we can just let Broken Tier do what they do best, and all we have to do is think of designs and come up with cool ways to market them, which is what we do better. So I like that. I like that a lot more. Yeah, I mean, why do I, even though I am the postmaster, I still wouldn't want to be in the t-shirt game like myself. You know what I mean? Like, why do I want to handle all these things when somebody else could just do it much better than me because they're already doing it? EMP Kyo Police wants to know, do you think it would ever be possible to host a big tournament in Hawaii and get everyone to come here, or is Evo the only way to go? Best thing I can say is get the tourism board on board. Get the tourism board. Get the tourism board to go along with your idea, because that's what Video X Games in St. Martin did. The tourism board over there was very supportive and very excited about what they were doing, and that's one of the ways that they were able to get it done. So I think that Hawaii, it's possible to do the same thing. If I told you guys who I was saying fuck you to when I was leaving, I would have to kill you. Oh, why don't you guys hit the subscribe button? That would be appreciated. Oh, you guys are funny. What skin product? You know, I actually have a bunch of skin products that I don't use anymore. The secret to having nice skin is working out. And not eating like shit. Don't be fat. Yeah, hit the follow button, please. Yeah, dude, okay, this is what I do. With the exception of this week, because this week has been hella distracting. I wake up, and actually I was waking up a lot earlier until I got the AC fixed. Now that the AC is fixed, I get to sleep way too long. But what I would do is I would wake up and go to the gym for about an hour and 15 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half. Do weights plus 45 minutes of cardio, and then I would come back up here and make a green smoothie with protein powder and take a shower and then start my day. And that would be like one meal right there. And then I fat for an hour, of course. You guys are funny. Why aren't Capcom games at MLG? because Capcom and MLG have a long history of not liking each other. What's in the green smoothie? Dragon kale, which is the kaliest of kales. New Zealand spinach. I think I still have some cucumber left. Strawberries. I ran out of blueberries. Oh yeah, basically strawberries. And 1 cup of almond milk and 2 scoops of protein powder. Although I'm almost out of this raw vegan protein powder, but it was so expensive I'm not going to buy it again because I'm going to try different protein powder. Oh, and for the record, I posted something on Twitter yesterday asking what the breakup recovery formula was. That was just something that came up in conversation. We were trying to look it up and couldn't find an answer. So, yeah. Yeah, we couldn't find the answer. So, but everybody on Twitter, lots of people on Twitter had good good answers. Oh, I do like putting blueberries into the smoothies. The best way to follow me is Twitter and Instagram. So when you put all the green stuff in the smoothie and then balance it with fruit, and it doesn't taste like much of anything. It just tastes pretty good. How thankful am I for Cross Counter Asia? Very thankful. Z and Kevin and Sien are so awesome. And Kevin's coming to visit, yay. Oh, hey, also, if you guys haven't seen, hold on. If you guys haven't seen Z's scholarship video, I want you guys to please go right now. I'm gonna post a link to watch this video. He's trying to get the Twitch Alienware sponsorship, scholarship. And I want you guys to watch that and then leave a comment saying that you think Z should win. Damn it. There it is. Yes, it is the one where he licks the stick. It's awesome. It's awesome. Speaking of which, did you guys see Obama's Ask Me Anything on Reddit? Oh my God. I was so disappointed with the questions that he answered because he only answered like 5 questions, but holy crap, what a great idea or whatever. It was such a great idea for what he was doing. And then they, at the top there was like a link. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my God, what's even funnier is the amount of downvotes. 174,000 upvotes, 169,000 downvotes. Wow, take that. And then it's all to get to this page right here. Check that out. That page which he links to at the top, is the greatest landing page ever, right? Like, Obama has the best marketing team on the planet. It's amazing. And look at, he's got his own advice animal. It's amazing. It's is the president of the United States doesn't ask me anything. Amazing. Amazing. I mean, if that doesn't get you to be president, I mean, what is wrong? What is the Republican equivalent? What does Mitt Romney have to do to go up with doing an Ask Me Anything on Reddit? Like, how does he even come back from that? Scumbag Obama killed Reddit. It's true. It's funny. I got a late start to the day. I didn't. I knew that Obama was doing the AMA before I checked Reddit for the day. Otherwise, I'd be like, "Oh, what's wrong with Reddit? Where's my Reddit?" Oh, you guys don't know about Reddit? Oh my god. Do I mod any subreddits? No, I wish. If anybody wants to make me a mod of any subreddits, I will gladly take it. Would I do an AMA? Maybe, but there were some questions that I would dodge like Obama. What subreddits do I frequent? Today I learned F7U12, Advice Animals, Funny, Pics, Music News, SF4, SFXT, MVC3, Conspiracy, and Fitness, I think. Oh, and NSFW, of course. Gone Wild Curvy? I think I'll pass on that one. Tell us more about Where's Adventures? No. No. Rule number one about being legit. Don't talk about the shit that you did that wasn't legit. Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, what were we talking about earlier? I'm getting kind of hungry. It's gonna be 10:30. Where do I want to travel? Brazil, Ibiza, Thailand, South Korea, Dubai. Why Dubai? Because Dubai is made of gold. And hopefully I could meet some rich Arabian people. South Korea, the food and the internet. Oh, Colombia would be cool too. Africa sounds so dangerous, but you know what would be awesome is to go to Egypt in December for the pyramid star alignment thing. That shit is gonna be crazy. Egypt, pyramids, stars align. Damn it, where is it? Somebody, or is it planets? Are they the planets? Somebody, here we go. Yes, once every 2,700 years. Oh, although apparently it's all bullshit according to this article. But apparently there's there's some sort of crazy music festival or something. You pay like $8,000 and take like a trip down the Nile, and then you end up at the pyramids, and then there's like some big party or something. I don't know. Sounds a little. I don't know if I got $8,000 just like sitting around. Do I have any? I don't have as many tattoos as Joe, as Li Joe. Unfortunately, I don't have any tattoos. Unfortunately, I was actually offered a tattoo by one of the guys from one of the guys in Texas, but I declined because I didn't have any good tattoo ideas. You know what I mean? If you don't have good tattoo ideas, then what's the point? What's the point? Who cares? What is my favorite Blood Brothers song? Let me look at the track list and I'll tell you in a second. It's been so long. Gosh. What a great, oh my God, they're so good. Young Machetes was my favorite album. Oh, there's a 2009 reissue? Oh my God, how did you guys not tell me that there was a 2009 reissue? Oh man. Okay, hold on. Hold on. No, it's not Burn Piano Island Burn. When I actually heard that song, when I heard that album, I was like, I don't know about these guys. But you know what's funny is I actually saw the Blood Brothers at the Glass House with Taking Back Sunday. With Taking Back Sunday, and the Blood Brothers opened, and I was like, this is awful. Oh, there we go. I think it's, yes. Yeah. Yes, here it is. Spitshine Your Black. Let me make sure this is the one. It's so, oh my God, I can't believe how long ago this was. Oh, is there an ad before this? Oh my God, now I know how you guys feel. Let's see. Where's my audio? What? What happened? God. Where? Okay, okay. All right, here we go. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me start from the beginning. Oh, you guys are gonna hate me. Oh yeah, yep, this is my favorite Blood Brothers song ever. Spitshine Your Black Clouds. I can't believe this was 2006. I'm so old. How does it, oh yeah, oh man, all right. Anyways. Oh man, I should really learn how to DJ or remix or something, and then I should make like some kind of like hard, heavy, like house dubstep remix of that song. Oh my God, it'd be so sick. There'd be like 5 people in the crowd of like 5,000 going nuts. Everybody else would be like, what is this? I do have Tractor. I got Tractor and I got S4. I just have 0 talent. Oh my God. Yeah. Animal Collective. Nope. Yeah, free time. I need somebody to show me how to DJ. I've actually never been in Low End Theory, but I heard it's cool. The music events go good. We're looking for more. If you know, if you're doing events in the LA area, hit me up. Your lipstick is colored. Don't bother, gootalks. I know exactly what goes on. Name that tune. But yeah, looking to do more events in the LA area. Any good tips on networking? Yes. Give value freely. You, like when you meet somebody, I always think about who I have in my network or what I know that can directly benefit them. For example, yesterday I went to a bar and there was this guy there and he was chatting up some hot Colombian girl. I don't know if she was Colombian. We'll say she was Colombian. Anyways, we started talking. I was already pretty drunk, so the conversation was already going pretty easily. And I was like, oh, what do you do? And he says that he's a dance instructor for guys who are trying to meet girls in clubs. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he's like, yeah, check out my website. So he shows me his website and I was like, wow, this dude's sales page is awesome. Because me being a marketer for myself, like I know a good landing page when I see one. And this dude's was on point. So, and he starts telling me about how he's got 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I was like, not bad. Yeah, we just crossed the 55,000 mark. So yeah, I'm also in the YouTube business. So I started asking him, oh, like, you know, are you doing streaming? Are you partnered and, you know, with a network? And he's like, no. And all this stuff was like new to him. He's like, I've been wanting to do streaming, but I haven't really, like, I don't know how to do it. And he said that he was partnered with YouTube. I was like, well, if you're being partnered with YouTube, like you could be making way more if you're partnered with a different network. So, so he was like, oh, dude, we got to talk. Like, give me your number and I'll hit you up. And so I told him a little bit about what we do, you know, live streaming, gaming, and music and stuff. So yeah, you know, I gave him my info, and then he gave me a call today, and then we're gonna get lunch day after tomorrow. So. I think that's pretty good networking, right? I just so happen to be in a place where I met a guy where the skills that I have totally will complement and make his more money, because he's selling physical DVDs. Like, he wasn't even doing digital downloads. So, you guys are funny. You guys are so funny. You guys are such haters. Maybe this is why you're sitting at home just watching me talk. Anyways, that's pretty good networking. How do I deal with getting nervous / anxiety? I don't know, having a drink helps. Might be time for a drink. I'm actually, hold on, I'm gonna look on Yelp right now and see what my options are. Baby. Oh. Ooh. There's a few places. What happened with the Colombian girl? This dude had me take Instagram pictures of them. What is my favorite kind of food? I have many favorite types of food. I love Japanese food. I love sushi. I love ramen. I love burgers. Burgers are really good. I love homemade ribs and homemade green vegetables. I love Mexican food. I love having pho. Oh, soul food is so good. My Instagram username is gootalks. Best sushi place in LA. Oh gosh. Katsuya, maybe? Not for the faint of heart though, that's for sure. Yes, gootalks.com expired. I forgot to renew, but I will renew it tonight. Thank you for telling me. How come I didn't tweet this stream? Because this just started as the tail end to the how-to stream tutorial. And then Ian left me all by myself. So, yeah, Ian left. And I was just streaming, and then some guy asked me how to not be in the friend zone. So there we go. Who is my favorite porn star? Gosh, I can't think of her name, but I can definitely think of her face. Oh, damn it. What was the answer? How do you not be in the friend zone? For those that missed it, yeah, for those that missed it, don't get into the friend zone to begin with. Refuse to be put there. So make the move fast and early so that either she is forced to make a decision. She's either in or she's out. Oh, Peaceful J, send me a message and I'll add you because I may be full on Facebook. My favorite anime is... Oh, it's still pending? Well, send me a message so I know it's you, and then I'll... yeah. My favorite anime is Afro Samurai, which anybody who knows anything about anime hates with a passion. But... gootex.com on PSN isn't me. It used to be my account, but now it's at my friend's house. The best part of Afro Samurai is the concept that only number 2 can challenge number 1. Would I switch to a perfect robot body if it was available for the price of a small car? Absolutely. Oh, Samurai Champloo was pretty good. What if fighting games were like Afro Samurai? Then whoever won the last tournament, only the guy who lost could challenge him. He would be out of the tournament. For example, Yipes won Summer Jam. Yipes cannot play in the next tournament. Only whoever wins the next tournament can challenge Yipes. They go through everybody and then play Yipes. That's how it should go. Ask Dr. Sub-Zero? Sure, yes. We're hoping that we can just shoot it here, since we have all of the gear. Bar fights for money? Been there, done that. We've done that. I don't think he'll be bringing any, I don't think Dr. Sub-Zero will be bringing any porn stars. But we do have the lights in case he does. How do I pick out my clothes? So every time I get paid, I try to buy one new thing, which this was some fashion tip that I got somewhere. I don't remember where. But basically the idea is that if you feel like your wardrobe is you feel like you need a whole new wardrobe, what's going to happen is that you're going to spend a bunch of money, buy a bunch of new clothes, and then they're all going to get like outdated at the same time. If you consistently buy new stuff all the time, like one new piece every time you get paid, then your wardrobe is constantly fresh and evolving. And you get more practice buying stuff. Who do I contact? Rave Pulse, who do I contact about DJing at one of those events you stream? Are you in the LA area? Just send me an email. Hit me up. Let me know where you're playing. Do I shop Jack Threads? No, what's that? I do shop on Plunder though. Plunder is pretty cool. Do you guys know about Plunder? Can I put my Plunder link in here and then you guys sign up, buy some shit, and then give me some credit? Does that work? Can we do that? Well, too bad. We're going to do it anyways. Ha ha ha. I actually bought, hold on, let me see if I can log in. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, here we go. Here we go. There we go. There, sign up for Plunder. It's pretty sweet. Aftershock, I think is going to be dope. Oh, here. Hold on. Let me go. I got these on Plunder. They were like 15 bucks, dude. You guys are funny. Oh, you guys are hilarious. You guys crack me up. Do I have any idea when ADARC are restocking their sticks? No. But let me know if you guys want more ADARC deals. I just posted the plunder link. Boom. What do you guys what would you guys want with an ADARC stick or with another brand of stick? Like, what would be a good bundle? Because the best that I could come up with was a cross counter shirt. A second stick. A bag. Okay, I like that. A stick bag. Okay. Maybe. A DVD copy of 88 the movie. A signed shirt with international shipping. What about like a poster? Maybe we can get cross-counter posters. A Gutex and Mike Ross calendar. Oh, you joined the site? Did you? Did you really? Am I gonna see, do I get some credit or something? I know one of you guys had to have signed up, right? Credits. Nope. You liar. You're such a liar. Maybe you had to buy something first. I think yeah. Maybe you have to buy something first. Dude, there is so much cool stuff. I get the emails all the time and then spend a bunch of time looking at the site and wasting a bunch of time. I'm not really into most of the shirts, but hey, these glasses were dope for 15 bucks. I will probably not be buying the 25th anniversary Street Fighter set, seeing as how I have all the games already. All right, guys. I think that's about it for tonight. Thank you for joining me here tonight. Please, Oh, you guys are funny. Hit me on Facebook or Twitter or send me an email if you want to see more stuff like this. But I don't know. How long have we been going? I feel like we've been going for ages. Ages and ages. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll do more stuff like this. If you guys give me stuff to talk about. Oh yeah. So thanks for watching.